Hi, I'm Jude, and I am a recovering perfectionist. In the past, I probably wouldn't have claimed that moniker of perfectionist because I thought that a perfectionist was someone who does everything perfectly, and I am so not that person. But what I realized was perfectionism is kind of a way of showing up in the world. It's the perfectionists are generally, and I'm saying this with love because I am one, they can be like not very fun to be around because we tend to get our noses out of joint when things don't go the way that we expect them to go. And it's just coming from a place of fear. And, I'm sending lots of love to myself and to all the other recovering perfectionists in the world. But we cannot be a lot of fun to be around sometimes. But I wanted to talk to you about how I'm sort of moving through, how I'm a recovering perfectionist as opposed to a full on, dyed in the wool perfectionist. I want to talk to you about a mistake I made recently and sort of how I worked through that. Because this is how we do this. This is how we stay in recovery as a perfectionist is you fuck up and you deal with it. So I made a misstep recently online. I've just been invited to join a new community online, and there are rules to this community. There's certain things that you can do and certain things you can't do. And I had read the rules, and as a perfectionist, the rules are very important to me. And I broke one of the rules. And at the time, I didn't even realize I had broken a rule. And it threw me into such a shame spiral. I, I haven't felt this way in a long time. I don't know that I've ever felt exactly this way, actually. It was really uncomfortable. And at first, I did what is kind of a normal human reaction. I tried to get away from that feeling as fast as fucking possible. And the way that we do these things is, the way that we try and escape uncomfortable emotions is by doing things like numbing out. So, drinking like several glasses of wine at a less than ladylike speed while, speed eating Oreos or I don't know, chips or something. Or distraction. One of my favorite things is, put the TV on. I've got my phone over here. I've got the iPad over here, and I've got Pinterest. I've got Facebook. I've got the TV, and it's just like give me information, give me images, just so that I can stop thinking about what just happened. Another thing that I employed in this particular situation was trying to make someone else responsible for my emotions. I got really angry with the person who sort of called me out on my mistake, even though they did it in a very decent, delicate way. I was furious. I was really angry. And I wanted to cry. I wanted to scream. I wanted to turn my desk over. This is this person's fault. And what the hell? And then when I realized that it was a mistake that I had made and it wasn't just, I don't know, online snarkiness as you can sometimes get, I was just mortified. And I realized, as I was sort of in this shame spiral, that somehow in the back of my mind, I was like, okay, Jude, you're a coach. You can deal with this. And I realized it's an opportunity to practice. And this is kind of why I wanted to talk to you about this today is this is how we do this kind of work is you recognize the opportunity when you're in it and you work it, or you recognize the opportunity as soon as you can. Like I was in this like completely uncomfortable, let's put it that way, it's completely uncomfortable emotional state for about an hour and a half, an hour and 15 minutes before I realized, oh wait, I have tools, I can deal with this. And so it was interesting. So as soon as I realized I'm in this state and recognized this is an opportunity to practice, I did my work. And so what that means is in coachy speak, doing your work is basically slowing down, tapping into what's in your body. What do you feel in your body? Because your body always knows what's going on. If you're confused, if your head is telling you 6,000 different things, your body will always know what's going on for you. So that's the first thing that I did. And what I was feeling was like someone was squeezing my heart. Like there was like an iron fist around my heart. They were squeezing it. And I felt sick to my stomach. And my cheeks felt like two hot plates set to max, like just burning and throbbing. And what I realized was, this is shame. This is what shame feels like for me. Then I realized, okay, the next place my brain jumped, my coachy brain then jumped to The Language of Emotions. Carla McLaren, brilliant book. And she talks about, in that book, she talks about, when you have different emotions that show up, they're trying to communicate something to you. There's something that's being asked for from that emotion. In guilt and shame, what's being called for is atonement. So if it's genuinely something that you've done wrong, how can you make that better? How can you make amends for that? And once I got to that place, my physical self shifted. It went from, this horrible, I want to hide under the bed feeling to, oh, okay, I've done something wrong. I made a mistake. How can I atone for this? How can I make this better? And it was like coming home to myself. And that's how I know when I've reached the truth, because it feels very solid. It feels grounded, and it feels expansive. It feels open. And so that's exactly what I did. I emailed the guy who runs this online community, and I said, hey, listen, I realize I made a mistake. It was not intentional. I have since reread the rules, and I promise to be a more mindful member in future. And he was very, like I said, he was gracious in the first stance, and he was even more gracious after I emailed him. And he said, you know what, no worries. It takes time for people to find their feet here. We're cool. Glad you're here. Thank you. And that's it. All that emotion to get to that place. And it was like, that's why I wanted to talk to you about it, because this is how you do this work. This is how we make progress as imperfect humans, is we feel this shit. It's there for a reason. All this stuff comes up for a reason. And the only way that you make progress as an imperfect human is by fucking up, owning it, and moving forward. And, just doing your best to stay with it. So, yeah, that's why I wanted to talk to you about this today. So I hope that's helpful. I would love to hear your feedback. Let me know, if this landed, if this resonated with you at all. Send me your favorite distraction techniques. So in case I'm not feeling so enlightened in future, I might have something else to go to other than the wine and the chips. Anyways, yes, thank you so much. And until next time.